Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to Perspective, where you have your girl, co-host Pamela Hall. I'm about to bring it to you raw in my own way.
Yep, and you got Carlos Mack. Definitely bring it to you raw my own way every single week. Let's see. So Pam, who we got on the show today?
Well, we have the cake lady on the show today.
The cake lady.
The cake lady.
Right in time for Thanksgiving holidays and Christmas, right?
Thanksgiving, Christmas, and birthdays. She pretty much do it all. She is kind of like multitasking right now. Okay. So we are
cake lady got to make cakes.
Cook it up, women. Yeah, so we're gonna let you come through and introduce yourself.
Hi everybody, my name's Tijuana. I am the cake lady.
Hello, cake lady.
Okay. Hello. So tell us about, like what kind of cakes you bake. Is it no limit cakes, or you have a limit of what kind of cake you'll do?
There's no limit. My customers have actually really challenged me for a lot of different cakes. There's no limit to my cakes. Like for Thanksgiving, I had a strawberry cheesecake, red velvet cake, 3 layers. Each one was different.
And wow.
Cheese, red velvet cake.
I love baking those too, so I get it. I love me some red velvet cheesecake. So how's your price range? How does it work?
My price range is anywhere from $25 to $45, and then on specialty cakes, depending on what you want, and it may be a little more than that. I'm best known for all my pound cakes, and I got a wide variety of pound cakes I offer as well.
Okay, and then you got the cupcakes too, because I came and got a few cupcakes from you, and they were good.
Well, thank you. I just don't advertise the selling of the cupcakes. But like in the next couple of weeks, I have a birthday party I'm doing, and she actually ordered 100 cupcakes.
Wow!
So if I have a customer that actually asks for them, then I'll of course offer them, but I don't so much advertise them.
Okay, so right below we have a link where people can click on and make orders, or however you do it. Mm-hmm. Okay, so tell them about the link.
The link, if you go to the link, you'll be able to follow and go straight to my Facebook page for my advertisement, and you'll see some of my cakes that I've posted. I usually try to do also a daily motivation that I post even if I'm not baking.
Okay.
And so you'll also be able to go in and grab that daily motivation that I posted.
Mm-hmm. Okay, all right. That sounds really, really good. Of course, I follow you on that on the Cake Ladies, and I try to share, some of the stuff I do see that come on my timeline. But tell us about anything else that you want to tell us about yourself and all that you do. Make sure you go on to Facebook to Perspective and share this link right now so that people can watch you live and watch us and see what we have going on right now.
Okay.
That's right.
Okay, so are you ready to get into the topic?
Let's go.
Okay, so the topic of the day is when we come on here, we always talk about the Black community and how we can make it better, relationships, all sorts of things. So do we as a community put our energy too far into negative events versus positive events? And how can we change that? Like, why we're drawn as a community to gun violence or to anything that's negative versus anything that's positive? Do you see who want to start?
All right. Well, that's pretty typical. That's not just the Black community, though. I mean, don't get it twisted. That's pretty much every single race throughout history. You got the Romans, who everybody know love the gladiators, etc. And that's just pure violence. That's people, fighting to the death. You've always, even during slavery, you've had white people who enjoyed a good picnic. And if you don't know the history of that, Which
Right.
Pam actually put me on game on that one. Picnic, pick nigga. You watching some strange fruit, that type of stuff. I mean, not to get too deep into it, but
Mhm.
it doesn't really matter what race you're talking about. We all like violence as human beings. We like to push the envelope.
Do you feel like social media has increased that ignorance or increased the pettiness of us going against each other? Do you feel like social media have played a bigger role in what we seeing, or you just feel like maybe there's nothing new under the sun?
I think progressively over time, especially as technology gets more and more connective, and you're able to see as a kid, for example, you don't have to pass a note anymore to a nice pretty girl. You can just send her a DM with all kinds of crazy stuff on it, and that's the real talk. So, and it's unchecked. So you got a lot of unchecked technology, a lot of unchecked games. For example, a lot of music that we no longer we solicit it to our children in a lot of cases. Violence is just more prevalent. It's getting that way because you're able to see the things now easier that were always there.
Right. So, do you ever notice the heighten of our community drawing to negativity? And what do you think? How can we change it, or what's your viewpoint on it?
Yeah, I definitely see that. How can we? I can only speak from my personal point of view, and my
Right.
personal point of view is
Perspective.
how I keep from reflecting on all of the negative stuff is I reflect on the positive, and I draw to the positive stuff.
Okay.
What for one instance, and it can be a bad thing for some, but it's a good thing for me. I don't watch news because all the news carries is bad news. You don't ever see anything hardly ever where they're actually celebrating something good.
Right.
And so I don't watch news at all. I
Very
don't
good
turn
point.
TV on the news. I don't watch the news. When
Very good
something's going
point.
on, huh?
Oh, I said very good point.
Yeah,
Very good
yeah.
point.
So for me, in order for me to remain positive, I reflect towards positive things.
Okay. So let me ask you a question. So if you don't watch the news, the news come on your timeline on Facebook. So
Mhm.
how do you kind of separate that with being on social media?
Don't respond.
Well, Pam,
Don't.
Tawana, that's how you say your name, right? Tawana.
It's Tijuana.
Tijuana. All right.
Mhm.
So, Miss Tijuana, I hate to interrupt you, but Pam, one of the things that you do is you're an avid news watcher. So a lot of the times, just like
I
me,
am.
I'm looking at shoes. I'm constantly looking at studio stuff, and guess what comes up on my timeline?
Studio
So
stuff.
if I watch the news constantly, then it would probably be news footage
Mhm.
and channels and different things like that popping up.
Right, right.
Yeah. I just recently had that conversation with one of my family members about Facebook in your timeline because no, actually it was the lady that runs Smoothie Groove. I was on the phone with her, and she was asking me if I seen a post of hers. I told her no, and she was like, "You did?" I was like, "No." And what I realized is what you gear towards is what's on your timeline.
Right.
Because for instance, I was doing this Black Friday shopping and I was online looking for stuff, and now on my timeline, that's all I'm seeing. It's all of the stuff that I was
All
searching
day.
for on my
Yep,
phone during Black Friday.
that's right.
Right, right. And
And so,
it's almost scary.
yeah,
That's I'm being
Well,
honest. It's almost scary.
it's not
they
scary.
definitely keep it up with us.
It's an algorithm. It's a computer thing.
Mhm.
Facebook owns Instagram.
Yeah,
So you go on Instagram and you click on somebody's shoes that you like. Facebook knows it, and Facebook is one of the most powerful. I think it's the third search engine. You got Google, you got YouTube, and then you got Facebook. So what a lot of people don't realize is that's all going to the same computers.
it's all
So if
linked.
they're all in the same link, they know you. They got your information over here. It's not rocket science on why they got us connected like that.
Right, absolutely.
So my thing is with they have Facebook beefing, social media beefing, and all that kind of stuff. What is your opinion about how we as a community need to try to feed positive situation into our young kids to not actually go for it, because you know a lot of times you're bullied on social media, you're talked down on social media. Social media can build you up or tear you down.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we go about, you know, getting our community involved and trying to do some positive things on social media instead of engaging in all the negative? Y'all quiet.
Beat your bad kids. Beat your bad kids.
Don't call us for some beat your bad kids.
You
Yeah.
can't.
Well,
All them bullies, all you bullies out there, and all you know, and the parents that keep that going and don't,
I
you
mean,
know, catch. I don't mean necessarily beat them.
right.
I mean they need some sort of form of punishment, and
yeah,
also the children,
yeah, and
the
they need
children
to
that
get behind beat, because me and my cousin was just talking about this last night on the phone. How
okay.
it used to be in our community, Pam, and I'm not sure how old you are, Carlos, but in our community when we was coming up, if you did something outside, you was outside all day long with no
Mm-hmm.
problems. Your parents weren't worrying about you either.
Right.
And if you did something wrong outside and your neighbor caught you doing it wrong, that
Right.
neighbor would whoop your butt, send you home, and then you got another butt cut.
Yep.
Right.
But now even if you say stop to somebody's child, they got a problem with it.
Yep.
Who you talking to? Why you talking to my child that way? And da, 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 da.
Right.
And so
Right.
that's why the community stopped helping raise each other's children. That's where
That's
the
right.
break came into the community. Is parents started to, I don't know what you call it, but you know, okay in the fact of their
They
children's
started.
behavior. You
They
know what I'm
started being their children's best friends. They started being their children's confidant when they're wrong, and we started giving fifth place trophies. And it sounds like it's counterintuitive that you actually would not give every child praise, even though they didn't win. But when you start perpetuating that type of behavior, they start thinking that they're supposed to always win. They're supposed to always get their way. And then they're not supposed to be punished for things that are morally unconscionable. They actually think that this is their world. In this little world, they basically run it. And
I
so
mean, but the sad reality is we just reward bad behavior. That's what we do. Seem like I just on social media. I have a friend that posts positive stuff. She's doing positive things. She may get 2 or 3 likes, but then you'll get someone on social media that is cussing people out, going off, and they'll have 125 comments and 2,000 shares and all of this. It's like we are rewarding bad behavior.
Well, I can say this. I can kind of say this.
Huh?
Yeah, I can say, and now I thought about it, because initially I was like, well, we're all like that. But I will definitely say that the Black community does like a good street fight on there in YouTube, or they do like to talk a little bit more about violence. Our music is more violent than any other genre. So yes, we do like a little, but it's one of those things where if you're in the environment, look at the white guys, right? The real country guys, right? You'll see bows, you'll see deer hunting, killing deer, you'll see whatever their lifestyle is. And unfortunately, a lot of our lifestyle is trying to be in this world and not get beat down or not have to deal with somebody bullying you. So everybody's got to know how bad you are, and that you're tough, not to play with you, that you real. Everybody needs to know that in our community. It's not so much in other communities that they worry about their image, their aggressive image, as we do. So that's gonna come out. That's just our personality. They do it in different ways, but it's not verbally or actionably as valid.
Right. And I think another thing too is forgiveness within our community. We don't know how to forgive each other within our community. We are still mad at somebody in kindergarten. We still, you remember when she stole my crayons in kindergarten, and you almost 200 years old, but you still mad at this girl from kindergarten. You ain't never liked her. You always had a problem with her. Okay.
Right. 200-year-old mean lady.
Right. Exactly. So that's another thing I feel like our community needs to take a grip on, is just forgiving each other for bad behaviors, or forgiving each other for doing some things that
or better yet, forgiving other people that forgive. So if you forgive, you look weak in our community.
Right.
In our community, if you forgive, then you look weak. Now, I will say in the Jeezy Gucci Man whole beef settlement thing, it was kind of the opposite. We were mad at Gucci Man for being not as
he was
Gucci
at
Man.
the end.
Well, I would say this: we were upset about Gucci Man not being as accepting to the whole situation,
right?
Even though he had been, hits put out on him, and fought for his life literally.
Went
to jail over the whole thing. But the point I'm making is we see a person that's weak as the ones who fold first. They don't see it as honorable. They don't see it as someone that's making a good move. We think it's weak.
I personally see strength in a man that can see his faults. I see strength in a man that can say, hey, I was wrong and I apologize. I mean, what do you think, Tawana?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And especially as far as we are concerned, as women versus looking in at a man, vulnerability is wonderful. There's nothing wrong with a man that knows how to be vulnerable, show his feelings, express his feelings, and talk about them.
Right.
Oh wow. Yeah. Y'all women, y'all not a group of unattractive women, so I'm assuming that y'all kind of got a good idea on what you like. But I find it hard to believe that my sisters think that a man that's emotionally available all the time and all of that is actually what we go for. I find it bad guys get the girl.
No. I think there has to be a fine balance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We don't want this man to be crying all the time.
We don't want no punk.
Exactly.
Exactly. But
if you out and about.
But if he's going through something, or something is, or he actually do need some help, I don't need him to feel bad about coming and saying I need help.
Or
what kind of emotionally
hurt behind something and saying I'm really hurting right now.
Right.
Yeah, that's not how we do things. We don't be coming to y'all talking about, you know what? My boss really hurt my feelings today. No, I don't think that's gonna happen. So y'all gonna have to.
No, what we're saying is we're talking about life situations.
Yeah.
Right? Let's say you really hurt about something that has happened to you traumatically, and men like to feel like they're supposed to just hold it all in. Like it's nothing wrong with saying, you know what, I'm hurting right now.
Let me try it out. You know what? I'm really hurting right now.
Right.
No. It don't feel good. I feel like a punk.
Let me tell you something. Real talk. And if you hurting mighty bad, you might get some poom poom.
Oh man.
Woman.
Man, how many what? You know what? It's counterintuitive what I'm saying, but you know what? Y'all don't know what y'all talking about. Y'all don't date women. How many women y'all date?
Let me give y'all an example.
That don't mean nothing. I deal with more women. Y'all deal with yourself.
Example and point, right?
Apparently.
Okay,
and
we got there
on an everyday basis, like okay, he just whining all of the time. No, we don't want that.
Right.
But prime example, a guy that I was dating, his father died on my birthday, and my first cousin died a couple of days later, which was back in July. When his dad died, he was vulnerable enough when his father passed to actually lay in the bed and allow me to hold him while we talk about his feelings and how he's feeling about losing his dad. And vice versa, when my first cousin passed, I felt, because I knew he felt comfortable to do it to me, made me even more comfortable coming back home, getting in the bed, getting in his arms, and just crying.
But y'all gonna do that anyway, though.
Y'all gonna
do that anyway.
But we'll do it even more when we know that you're accepting of it and you're gonna reciprocate it. You know what I mean? You're not gonna shut it down. You're not gonna be like crying and da.
Oh, okay.
You know what
I mean,
I'm saying?
there's obviously an extreme to every case. Like there's an extreme to everything. Now the guys, your a relative dies and he's like, man, suck it up. Like, yeah, you might be dating somebody that's a little extreme, really extreme. But I mean, on a day-to-day basis, it's not looked at for our little boys to cry. It's not looked at for homeboys to confide in, what's going on in their feelings. I mean, we don't really like to talk about those things.
Right.
You know what?
Because it's an armor for day-to-day use. It's not an armor for it doesn't work as well when you're talking about dealing with your woman, or your woman know all of your deepest, darkest feelings. But it works well when you're dealing with the world and you're dealing with other guys and you're dealing with very, very either violent or aggressive people. You being an emotional wreck is probably going to wreck you. And then that woman's not going to deal with you because you can't handle your day-to-day activities. If you got a bad day,
we're talking about a balance. We ain't talking about somebody that's emotionally.
I'm saying it's not balanced. It's not going to be balanced. Like you can't have your cake and eat it too, ladies. Sorry, it's just cake lady. Cake lady, you can't have your cake and eat it too. Okay, even though you make them.
One thing I can say as a woman, we find that balance because we have to have strength to be mothers, to be business women, to be whoever we need to be at any given time. And we have to be able to have that strength and also be able to, rub our feelings and caress our feelings and understand that it's okay for us to have a breakdown too. We have to be able to balance that out as well as women. We're not trying to say go around and crying and tell everybody, how sad you are every single day. But we do know that in life things happen. And I feel like there's strength in a man being able to tell you that he's hurting versus because when he's holding it inside, he's not only tearing down himself, he's tearing down everyone around him, but he doesn't even realize it.
So true.
I'll give you a great example. When a woman is in the workplace, and the workplace has a lot of quote unquote alpha males as in that workplace, let's say law. All right. Or I'll give you a great example I know personally. Let's say construction. Right. Every single woman I know in that field has to be more aggressive than the average woman. She has to be more stern, more feelingless, more of that. Why do you think they have to do that? Like, what's the simple reason why women fit in? Okay, fit in. So if you're a regular man, in order to fit in, what do? But you're doing the same thing.
We're not talking outside of your home. We're talking about being able to be vulnerable when you need to be with your help.
Even if it's in private. Yeah, even if it's in private.
Yes, some men can do with a little bit of counseling and soul searching and all this other stuff. Maybe do some yum ring like Tina Turner or something. But I'm just saying that for the most part, men have to be. You can't have, like I said, you can't have your cake and eat it too. Because if I'm a drug dealer, and I'm out here banging in the streets,
I want to eat it. I don't want to take it, just look at it. Right. Now I can understand if you're gonna have your cake and somebody else's cake and somebody else's cake and somebody else. But if it's my cake, I want to eat all of my cake.
Okay, well then let's go back to parenting then, because you can't always get what you want. You know what I'm saying? It ain't always go your way. So you have to pick. You have to pick and choose. And here's the problem. Okay, there are guys who are sensitive out here. Right. There are guys who are more sensitive than the next guy. Mm-hmm. But are you choosing those guys, or are you trying to change the guy who's not sensitive into that guy? Because there are plenty of sensitive guys, but they don't get the girl. They sitting on the corner like the Mexicans waiting on the job. They're the outcasts. They waiting on y'all. Go ahead, get your sensitive guy.
I see the most successful marriages came from a man that was a little more sensitive.
Well, know why? Because that woman aggressive is she the man now. And he the woman.
She way to pay.
And they done switch roles. They done switch roles, and now she the alpha male, and he the beta. I ain't going to say male. So that's just how it is. You cannot have. It's not a balanced system. It's not even balanced hormones, so you can't expect the system to be the same.
No, I'm not saying that the man himself is weak. I'm saying I see where you have a man that is, more attentive to his woman, and all of that stuff. I see where the ones that are not the thug guys and the hard guys, they're not the ones getting married. They're not the ones that's having successful relationships. They're having very difficult relationships because they are out of touch with themselves.
I don't think that's true. I see plenty of married people of all different types. That's not true. Just because he's a nice guy doesn't mean he's marrying somebody. It's no. You got a lot of thugs who's married. You got a lot of gangsters that's married, and a lot of that's not a true statement.
About on an everyday basis. I ain't talking about these artists that's pretending that they're thugs. I'm talking about real people every day. I mean, Tijuana, what do you think? Tijuana, what do you think? I was just telling Carlos that I don't see a lot of the hardcore thug guys married. I see the nice guys. They're married and they've been married for years and they're just good guys. I don't see the hardcore, guys that out of touch with their feelings, like they just a man. I don't see them getting married. I see them going from woman to woman to woman and never really settling down because I mean, because
so basically what you're saying is the good guys go get married and the bad guys get all the girls.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Even if that's the case, there's nothing good about that. What's good about?
I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying it is good. I'm saying that if you're a guy and you want to be successful in dating women, you're not going to take the path least traveled. You dig what I'm saying? So who actually is? I've been using this word all day, perpetuating it. If the women are taking to the bad guy, guess who are increasing the bad guys? The bad guys are not dating each other.
Girls,
hopefully,
the
good girls like bad guys too.
We were talking about
smart girls, good girls, rich girls, poor girls. They all like bad guys. We were talking
about that the other day. How when I don't know if you remember this. Well, I was telling one of my friends a long time ago when you chose a man when you were young, you didn't choose them by what they could buy you. You chose them by, what their potentials are, what they're trying to do in life. Y'all trying to go to college. Y'all trying to build. Y'all trying to do all these things as a woman. But you have high school girls that are more attracted to what you can get them than what you're going to get in life. So you have this dynamic now, which wasn't always the case back in the day.
But that also goes to
that as a changing thing, and I think that rap and all that type of music has made that change.
But we're talking about
a little bit more popular than what it was before.
We're talking about the bad guy versus the good guy. Now you're talking about a whole nother subject when you start bringing in whether a woman is trying to see if you're accepting women. Like, I mean, if you got a lot of money or something, that's another topic.
No, I'm saying when she brought into the or even just the drug dealer, bad boy mentality. I'm going, buy you this. Is what women are or young girls are like actually drawn to in a sense these days.
I think that women in general, though, you don't want to hear it. It sounds bad the way you say it like that. But when you're looking for a man that can provide, it's the same thing. You're looking for a guy that is able to take care of you, i.e., buy you stuff.
Well,
so there's no difference between a man being a drug dealer and giving you a bunch of money and you trying to find a guy.
I think when you're young, your priority shouldn't be about some man being able to provide for you per se. Because they're not even where they're supposed to be.
Well, you're contradicting yourself because you just said that before women and women look for guys who are on a trajectory.
That's not a good thing as a young girl. That's not a good thing as a young girl.
You don't think a woman should be looking for a certain type of look? Women look for men who are successful. Providers. Because women are providers. Exactly.
Right, but when you're in high school,
what does provide mean?
High school girls,
provide means protection and money. You can put it any kind of way you want, but you don't want a guy who can't provide, who doesn't have any money, because that means he can't provide. If we were in the Stone Age, that'd be a different thing. What's that?
Who got money in high school?
Nobody.
But you're looking
No.
for someone who is, I mean, if you're in high school, you don't want a broke dude. You don't want some dude y'all can't go to a movie every once in a while. Come on, it may not be as a house payment,
It's
but you don't want
levels.
no broke dude.
Yeah, it's different levels. It's different levels. You
It's
still
just how
want
it
to,
is.
like you just said, take you to the movies, bring you some flowers.
Yeah.
You know.
You go, Mom, can you give me some money so I can take my boyfriend so we can go to the movies? Your dad gonna be like, break up with him. Break up with that little boy. Either his parents are or he's sorry. Break up with him. I mean, Pam, I mean, let me a guy that's providing for you is the same thing as a guy that's giving you money. It's just you're in a deeper relationship, so you want to name it something else. But it's the same thing.
You're aiming at different goals.
I can't even relate because my perspective wouldn't even be respected at this point because my thing is I don't even think like that. I think on totally different.
Pam,
I don't think like that.
Just think about when Trail was in high school and he said he came home and said, "Ma, I like this little girl, XYZ." Because I know I've done it. I bought flowers for Deshaun before. I bought candy for Deshaun before, and they still, even in high school, even though we're the ones buying it for them, they still buying these little girls.
And guess who say? Guess what they tell them?
Attention and show them that I'm a man. You know,
they don't tell them my mama bought you these flowers. Here you go.
They ain't gonna say that.
Nope, they gonna say I bought these flowers.
Right, they ain't gonna tell them the mama bought it. You know, and you know, I've even had it where she's at the house and I've seen him give her the flowers, like for Valentine's or whatever. And I'm not gonna say, well, I bought them flowers. I want her to think right back on them.
Right, and I think Pam, I see a little bit about what you're saying. You're saying I think that you're combining what the young girl should be looking for morally.
Yeah.
But when you start getting more into the monetary part of it, that's a tricky, slippery slope. Because when it comes to the relationship between a man and a woman, it on average, everybody's not the same, but on average, a man is supposed to be in a provider mode and supposed to be taught to be a man and protector, and you know all of these different things, whether it be mentally, physically.
But
he's supposed to be a protector.
I think today that has the mentality of that has changed a lot for the young girls. Like they think protector means fight and kill. They think that providing means, you know, shoes and clothes. You know what I'm saying? Like you also have to teach your girls what is true protection, what is true providing. You know what I'm saying? You can't give them this false hope that everybody's gonna get a Gucci man. I mean, you know, it's just not that, you know, and then you have these boys that are out here because I do believe that women can make men change their standards. If a man is wearing his pants down on his butt and women are not attracted to that, guess what's gonna happen? They're gonna pull them up.
That's true.
If women are more like I need a man that's getting an education, that's doing his own thing, guess what? You have more men trying to go there. But if you got women that are down with whatever and all they want to do is get money and think that their name is Cookie, that they Cookie, you're not Cookie. This is not TV. This is real life. And
it's not so much. They're not also. The girls these days is just. I don't even like having the younger generation on my Facebook and social medias because all they know to do is drop it like it's hot. And we've been dropping it like it's hot forever, but we dropped it like it was hot differently. They want
brick.
I'm talking about you can literally see their breasts and their areolas and they private part between the legs.
Areolas in style right now.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? The sheer clothes. I mean, all the way sheer jumpsuit. I'm like, what would make her come out the house with that on? Because at that point, you don't leave nothing for the imagination for nobody.
Nope.
Everybody see what you got going on.
That's right.
Right.
See, y'all, but see, Pam, that's what you were saying is what I've been saying. Who is perpetuating the behavior of the man? If you positively reward negative behavior called negative reinforcement, you're basically letting them know that, okay, if I want a girl, even if this goes against my moral values, if I want this girl and she might be a nice, nerdy girl or whatever, but she still like bad guys, and bad guys always get the girl. So I got to act like this, or I got to give away money for this, or I got to treat her like, a lesser citizen, then that's what I'm going to do, because that's what I want in order to get a lady.
And you know what? I never could understand why a woman would laugh when a man called them a bitch.
No, that's stupid.
I never.
That's crazy.
When I was in the club business, it was like, "B, come here," and they were like, "Okay." Ooh, ooh.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, "What?"
Yeah.
Like that is so disrespectful. But if we demand that a man make them respect us and don't open our legs for a man that don't respect us, then guess what? That respect level start to go heightened. It start to go up. And that has been like my problem with us as women. Like we have to set the standard too for men.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Can't be solely on the woman either. The man
it's on the parents
eventually and say what is acceptable as a woman too.
It's all parents. It all boils down to what you're programmed with, what environment you allow your child to be in, what morals they have to fall back on. Even if you teach your child something, a lot of people are like, oh, well, I taught them this, I taught them good, and they still fell off. I guarantee you there's some voice of yours in their head during certain situations. If their friend about to go commit a murder, there's still some part of your voice that's like, he's like getting out the car. It's something saying getting out the car. So to say, oh, I taught them, but they went off the tracks, they probably could have been way off the tracks. And eventually they're going to come back to it. I mean, adults talk about, my mom taught me this, my mom taught me that didn't follow that throughout their life, but eventually they come back around to it. You have to instill that early as possible. You cannot wait till it ain't cute no more for little Lawana to be dropping like it's hot. You dig what I'm saying? You cannot make it like it's once she get to teenage years and stealing your clothes and coming in late, oh, now it ain't cute no more. Same with the boys. They talk bad. They do this. They ain't got no manners. Oh, they're so cute. They're so old. Then later on, when they turn 17, they're looking down on you and calling you a B. It's what you perpetuate. You know what I mean? That's 4 times I said that. It's fine. But anyway, you're gonna change the show to perpetuate. But the point I'm making is that you have to instill what kind of man you want that child to become, what kind of girl you want to, like, early.
Right.
Like before they even understand what you're saying, those type of words. You're beautiful little girl, you're gonna be great, you're gonna be successful, daddy loves you, you're always gonna have him on your team. Those things you got to say super early. Right. And if you don't, then you can't expect nothing but but whatever the environment give you then at that point.
Right. And and there are good women that choose right. You know what I'm saying? There are good women that allow, because I don't feel like women choose men. I feel men choose the woman, and then that woman then accept that choice or don't accept it. One of the two. You know what I'm saying?
Women are the gatekeepers. They tell you how the night gonna go. The night gonna go woo, or the night gonna go okay, and you have a good night. Y'all make the decisions based on our society right now. Yeah, yes, right. We're usually the physically stronger, but when it comes to sexual encounters, when it comes to how a date system's gonna go with that young lady, she's the gatekeeper. Right. So how we teach our daughters maybe one key.
Have a lot of respect for herself and have to say no a lot of times. And a lot of times I don't think that we don't teach our boys the same thing that we teach our daughters, or how to be respectful and how to carry themselves respectfully. We teach our boys to go for the kill, get it. But we teach our girls to say no, to be reserved, to be more respectful. So that's another thing. That's a whole nother topic too. But yeah.
Well, I was just for the sake, because I've got 2 girls and 1 boy. Deshaun.
Right. I know Deshaun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Deshaun ain't had but 2 girls he done brought home to me. and that was Kiana. Have you said name?
Yeah.
And the girl he with now,
Oh, she done put
engaged to
Deshaun
Tia.
out there.
Tia. And you know why? Because I sought those standards for my son the second he started dating. I told him, look, you're not gonna be that dude that's gonna bring two girls home to your mama, making the girl think that she the one because I done met her mama and she's not. That's what you're not going to do.
Right.
So again, it still goes back to the way you're raised, and he has always respected that. And then when he decided he wanted to go ahead and he knocked up and got her pregnant, okay, now what you gonna do, son? You gonna make an honest woman out of her? You gonna just be a good father? Which one you gonna do? That was me and his conversation, because the thing is either you're gonna make an honest woman out of her, because ain't no need of you sitting there and study milking her, should I say, milking her knowing you don't want her. Because if you don't want her, there's no need of you being there milking her when you can still be a good father.
Right, it's going to increase it. So that you're right. You have to make a decision at that point. Once that baby situation comes in, a guy that really has to make a decision on whether you want to continue some sort of physical relationship, because it's just going to get worse and worse for the woman. The guy, he's more detached from the situation. Ain't no baby growing in him, the hormones ain't. He is exactly the same right after that as he was before. So the guy has to make a decision, and the woman. It's probably harder because they're in a situation and they don't want to feel alone, and they also have the hormones going. They're just going to get more and more attached if you stay in this. I'm not saying leave her stranded. I'm saying you need to make a decision if you're going to be in a relationship.
In the relationship, because you can still be a wonderful parent and co-parent without being in a relationship. My thing was, okay, son, you done got this girl pregnant. Now what's your next move? You gonna make an honest woman out of her, or you gonna be a good father? Which one you gonna do?
That's an interesting topic. Because that's like you're gonna get married based off of that's like we're old school right there.
Yeah,
like not my daughter, you marrying her.
Yeah,
like that. That's a little, I don't know if you should get married because you have a child. I think that's a recipe for disaster down the line. If you're not doing it for love, that you actually have things that you have in common, I don't think you should do it. Now, if it works and you're already on that path, then hell yeah, go. You may want to go ahead and do it and quit playing. You already made it serious. But if it's not there, I don't know if I was, but everybody's different. Everybody's parents different,
Right, everybody do, but I just don't believe in a male study milking a woman and has no intentions.
So I'm clear, milking.
Milk her with some intentions of busting a move, basically.
Milking means continuing a sexual relationship with the woman.
Yeah. Okay, don't keep. You know what I'm saying? Don't keep going back there.
Goes back to dating with a purpose.
Yeah,
that's what that is, like dating with a purpose. Like are we going somewhere with this, or are you just here just to have sex, casual sex, or you make something work and build something with
a lot of women in these situations, and a lot of young girls in this situation aren't dating for the future. They're still young. They don't even know where they're going to be in life, or where they're going to be in the country, or what job they're going to have. And they definitely don't know what man they want at like 17 or 15 or something like that. Now, unfortunately, when you get sex in it, now you got another problem. And that's just how it works. So we got to decide what we're going to tell our children, what conversation we're going to have about sex, those type of things, and then set a moral compass for them. Let them know let a young lady know that she doesn't have to put up with certain things.
Right. I know that her son was like 25, 20 something. She's talking about her older.
Okay. I'm thinking really, really young, like 17, 14, 15, something like that.
No. He was out of school and adult,
right.
Before he had his
right. And again, that's one of those subjects where it's like it depends on all the different perspectives. Because if you're already in a relationship with this young lady, then I do agree that you need to go ahead and take it to the next level, because it looks like it was already going that way.
Right.
The Miss Cake Lady, kind of off the subject, you booming over there, ain't it?
She working.
She like
multitasking.
She like Gucci Man in the hood with the cakes. Slinging them cakes.
She is definitely multitasking. That's
Ain't nothing
all
wrong with
that
that.
is.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. But here's the other thing. What I like to do is I want like to say the solution. The solution is that we have to decide what we're gonna do punishment wise for these children, and then you have to be stern on what your moral compass is for these children. If you don't do that, then you're gonna get whatever the environment around you stirs up, cook up for you. If you got them living in,
Carlos, this is my question to you or to us.
Mhm.
What about the adults? I mean, you have the adults that are out there being childish and posting silly
Well,
stuff.
I'm looking at the solution because to
What
me it's too late for a lot of these people.
encourage the adults to do better.
It's too late for a grown person that's like
I don't think it's too late.
30 years old, 40 years old. You're gonna try to reprogram that person. I'm
I
talking
don't
about
think it's too late.
solutions. Solutions to the problem, not just some shot in the dark. The solution is to start when the problem starts. So the next generation to be better. You can't help these old people dropping it like it's hot on TV. What you gonna do about that?
No, I ain't talking about like just dropping it like it's hot, but I'm talking about entertaining the pettiness. Entertaining the pettiness when it comes to someone that is an adult.
Right.
You know, how do we try to encourage our Black community to do better? How do we try to encourage, no matter what the age is, how do we try to encourage them to do better, or even try to go through their kids to get through to them to do better? Because I do know some grown women that are very petty and they are ready to go at any time, and you be like, why?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Why do you have this mentality, and why don't you think that it's important as a mother to set a different standard for your child?
I don't think you're going to be able to. I think the only people, the best way to go about it is to try to reach out to the people that actually do care and get them to be louder. I don't think you're going to be able to change someone who's already down that road, down that path. If they're not on a clear path of trying to do right by these kids, then it's most likely they're going to just keep on dropping it like it's hot and fist fighting on TV. But the ones that are actually, whether it be someone in the more spiritual realm or motivational realm, politics, all of these people need to be louder, and they need that's the only way to really overcome it.
But I'm telling you, when I tell you, I have people that post positive things, positive videos, and they don't hardly get no comments, no likes, no nothing. But then I have people that post crazy stuff. They post naked videos and all kind of stuff, threesomes, all this different kind of things like that, and people just tuning in to the ignorance.
Right. You know? Well, there's an equal amount of people, just like in business, there's somebody for everybody. There's a group of people for everybody. So if you have those people in your friend list, then you're perpetuating it because they're getting more views and all of that. If you really truly want to cut it out, then cut it out. If you're not going to do anything about it, if you're not going to repost the things and really shout out the great stuff that you see, then you're actually, it's like not voting.
Right. Well, I know me personally, I share all positive stuff. If you got business, I'm sharing it.
But that's the solution. Everybody that feels that way, feels like it needs to be positive stuff perpetuated, then they need, because a lot of people are like, you know what, these kids need to stop shooting each other, and then they just go on about their life. Well, if
don't
feel
do
like that,
about it.
If you're not doing anything about it, then you're literally part of the problem.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So the solution is to ignore the people that's doing it. That what you say?
No.
Yes. Ignore the people that's doing it. Perpetuate the ones that's doing the good stuff.
Oh,
saying don't like the bad stuff.
Don't be part of that. Then eventually Facebook will filter those people out for you because Facebook is unbiased. Contrary to popular, they think maybe political level they bias this and that. I really don't think so. I think Facebook does what's best for Facebook algorithm. What's the most popular stuff for you personally? So if you're perpetuating it, then guess what? It's going to keep on coming at you. And if you just totally ignore it, if you don't stop, when you see See the
But look,
if it goes to
I'm about
spot
to
and
call you out. Look, I'm about to call Carlos out because I remember me and you had a conversation, right?
I'm ready. Go ahead. Let's go.
Stop. I'm what he's okay on his Instagram. His feed was just booty shaking all down his feed, right?
Right.
Oh, and then we look at my feed, and my feed was Housewives of Atlanta.
Yeah.
And all that stuff.
Yeah.
So
No,
I mean, we
no,
actually had a conversation.
I'm not gonna try to defend that because I'm all about what's real. I play devil's advocate on the white black issues. I don't see just because I'm black I'm supposed to think this. Just because I got white friends I'm supposed to think this. No, let me finish. Let me finish. All right, drop me out in the sea and let me swim to the shore a little bit. So, but the thing I feel is that if I want to do something about violence,
Right.
I'm either gonna shut up, don't say anything, don't complain about it, and then don't do nothing, or I'm gonna do something about it. So me personally, I understand the problem with all of the violence being perpetuated because I myself I love MMA, I love boxing, I love right. Those are things that I like, but I understand if you personally are gonna if you feel like you need to do something about it, you personally do something about it. Don't just talk about it, be about it. I don't have no problem with beautiful women on my feed. Personally, I think that makes me a man. Now, am I trying to be with all those women? I don't need to be with all those women. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I could be with one woman. But do I like looking at it? I'm a guy. We can have real long discussion.
Well, I was just making an example of how you're right that whatever you feed into is what's going to actually come down your timeline.
Oh, absolutely.
Mhm.
We had that conversation, and we
I
laughed.
actually thought that when you said it, I was like, because if you see, and then I was like, oh, I ain't gonna say that. I'm gonna say shoes. But you gonna put it out there. Yes, those type of things come up on your timeline if that's what you. And if you're always, this is a hint. If you see it on your timeline all the time, and you're like, man, I'm tired of this. These hoochie mamas. Guess why I keep coming on your timeline? Because
You keep watching.
you like watching hoochie mamas.
Yeah.
The proof is in the pudding or in the Facebook algorithm.
Right. I mean, but this was really fun. This was really, really fun. The time, like I told you, the time just go by really, really fast.
We almost at an hour already.
Yes, we read at an hour already. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna give our last words. I'm gonna let you go first, cake lady, the cake lady. I'm gonna let you go first. Tell everybody about your business, whatever you want to tell them about, and give them your last words, your last perspectives about the show and what you think about what anything you want to do about motivational stuff, whatever you want to say. And then Carlos will go, and then I'll go last.
All right, so I just want to thank y'all for inviting me onto the live. Again, my name on Facebook is the Cake Lady.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Miss Cake Lady, all of a sudden you dropped down.
Did
you change the mic? Did you change the speakerphone or change something? Because you really sound really low right now.
Can you hear me?
Yes, but it sounds different. So did you do anything different?
I moved.
Okay. Well, all right, keep going. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Can you get close to the mic a little bit?
Can you hear me?
All right, yeah, that's a little bit better.
Were you on speakerphone before?
It's on speaker. It's on speaker the whole time.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well, go ahead and maybe we could do something in post.
Okay, sorry about that, but yeah, I just want to thank y'all first for inviting me into the live stream. Again, my name on Facebook is the Cake Lady. That's DA Cake Lady. I think she just put it up under the perspective. My link on my Facebook page. I am available. I do still have some spots available for the holidays coming up for Christmas. And my last take on our live. I mean, it's so much negative stuff out there that you can try that you can how do you say it? You can let overwhelm your mind with. And the best advice I have for you is don't do that. Kind of like you said, Carlos, is direct your energy towards the positive stuff. And if everybody starts directing their energy towards the positive stuff, the negative stuff eventually starts to wean itself out.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right. Well, she said it. She said pretty much how I sum it up. I think that what we talked about has proven that if you're gonna say something, if you're gonna talk about it, then be about it. And it doesn't require you to go out in the middle of the street with signs and stuff. It could be as simple as you not perpetuating it in your own life. So you can't. It's really hard to talk about somebody else and what they're doing if you're doing it. If you're doing it in your own life, if you actually have a problem with it, then do something about it. If it's not bothering you, then it's that's a whole nother deal. But that being said, so basically that's how you do it. And if you want to start even before that, it's with your children. You know what I mean? You gotta basically teach them what you want them to be later, and you can start that immediately early. When it's cute that they dropping it like it's hot.
Yeah.
You gotta start. Don't wait till it's older and then they bringing all these dudes home and you're like, well, you've been twerking since you was 2, but now you don't want to do it no more.
Right.
Right. So like I always say, beat your kids.
Yeah.
Make the world a better place.
So, I guess, like I always say, we are stronger together. After every show, we are stronger together. I think that we have to bring awareness to bad behavior. I think that we have to, call people out, let them know, hey, this is not good for our community. We need to rally more together as a neighborhood, as a family, as a unit, as a Black community. We need to rally more with each other and not against each other. Like it's at a point now, even with social media, if you don't have anything good to say about a Black business or a Black person or whatever, keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
You don't have to tell everybody that you don't like a certain person or a certain business. Keep that to yourself. Try to make sure that you're more of a motivator than a builder, than someone that's going to tear down your community and your people.
Right.
So, that's what I have to say about that. I think we had a great show, even though Tijuana was
slinging them cakes all day.
Slinging them cakes. She was cooking cake, Carlos.
Whipping. But that's good. We love that. You know what I mean? You gotta have that. You gotta keep it going. We don't mind.
Right. So I mean, it was
feel free to sling some cakes around these parts so we can big up. We don't have no sponsors yet. I ain't getting no shoes, nothing like that. So we can start with cupcakes and cakes and stuff.
Okay, right. Exactly.
Right.
Because perspective is going places. We're gonna soon be on TV.
Okay.
On a network, and we claiming it. So it's definitely going places. So don't sleep on perspective. All right, but thank you for watching. We are on here every Sunday at 5:30 live on Facebook. Check the replay. Share this to your Facebook pages. Watch, and have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.